Back here, sun-drenched skies, Reeves Stadium, and getting ready to talk some football with the head assistant coach at Geneva College. Here he is, Tommy Contenta. All right, we have a lot to get to. Gino, in the midst of some film study and in a meeting, get ready for Bethany, which will be November 2nd. They actually have the week off, but we're going to talk about that big win against Allegheny. Romano, the quarterback, played big. That freshman from Freedom, big award for him, Patterson, and a dominating first half that pretty much made the final 30 minutes a foregone conclusion. So let's talk about those two individuals and the big win against Allegheny.
Yeah, so Caleb had a great game. Threw the ball well through the air, did some really good things, broke off a couple 20-plus yard runs, and ended up getting Player of the Week for Geneva College. Patterson on the defensive side of the ball had a fumble recovery, was flying around on the field, had a bunch of tackles, and a couple pass breakups. And actually, for the entire conference, he got Freshman Player of the Year. He's the third guy to get it for us this year as Freshman Player of the Week in the conference, and couldn't be happier for him.
That game, man, that first half, it was just like total domination. But if you look at even against some of the powerhouses, the W&Js and teams that you faced, you have really started off good. But this was really the first time a full 60 minutes of football, and you finished the way you started.
Absolutely. You know what? The guys are doing better and better, and you're coaching a lot of young guys is just keep them focused and play 4 quarters. You know, and in-game adjustments. Sometimes young guys, they're not used to it. In high school, you don't have as much time with them. It's just one scheme, and you kind of run that out. Whatever happens in those 4 quarters, you know, you're on the board, you're making in-game adjustments, and you know you got to make those and roll with them.
So last night I had State Representative Josh Kale on. Josh played football here, played at Upper St. Clair, met his beautiful wife here. She's heavily involved with the Republican Party. He's the Republican State Representative. But man, he talked about his journey from Upper St. Clair here and eventually meeting his wife. And he said that Geneva College lived up to all of his expectations, and he just couldn't say enough good things about it.
Yeah, Josh and Abby, they're great people. They're friends of ours, mine and my wife, Chelsea. Went to school here with them, had multiple classes with them. But, you know, Josh, I shoot him a text every once in a while, you know, how things are going and on the political scene. And he was a heck of a lawyer before that. And what a great guy.
Yeah, he's really a great guy. Look, one thing is for sure, whether you're a Democrat or Republican, it's all about family and faith. And when I start looking at some of the great stories, including my own sister and her husband have been married for over 50 years, a lot of those incredible faith relationships started right here.
Yeah, it's amazing. You know, Geneva's a unique college and faith background, Christian college, but you don't have to be a Christian to come to Geneva. That's one of the unique things for a college of faith. A lot of colleges, they make you sign a faith statement in order to come. Geneva doesn't. You know, we kind of take you as you are and, you know, see if it's a fit for you. And, you know, Geneva has something for everyone.
But more times than not, the door is open and Absolutely. A lot of people walk in and see how it changes their life forever. Now, let's talk about Bethany. Between now and then, what are you going to do? What do you guys normally do when you have a bye?
You know what? Bye week, you want to get guys healthy. We shorten practices a little bit just to make sure that happens. We'll have some periods of full contact, but we'll back down that contact a little bit. A lot more mental learning on that day. Formation recognition, you know, going over things that we had to fix from last game. And, you know, then as coaches, we'll get out on the road. During the day, we'll recruit. We'll get to our different areas. I know Gino was up in Montour. I was over at Blackhawk, Columbiana County, around there. We had some coaches down in the Mon Valley, all different areas. We get out and get in front of some coaches, in front of some kids.
Listen, you're a young man, but you still like going to those high schools, don't you?
Absolutely. There's nothing better than sitting down and talking to recruits because, you know, it's life-changing for them if they come here.
So what eventually made you come here to play football when you really, I'm sure, could have gotten some offers, and I'm sure did, from other schools? Yeah. Why Geneva?
So Geneva, I'm a Beaver County guy, you know, and that was a perk, but I was looking for a college, you know, it stuck out to me that was faith-based in a Christian college, and it's right here. And, you know, staff, even Gino's a Beaver County guy, but he teases me. The only place, I did an internship in Cleveland for like 2 months, and he's like, that's the furthest you ever got away from home. But you know what? You get out there, and there's not too many places like this where, you know, people know the name Pratt, DeMarco, you know, and it's a slower pace of life, and there's just good quality people here.
Good quality people. So now 3-4, and it's a whole new vibe, a whole new feeling after that win against Allegheny and some winnable games that lie ahead. And coming here in November to watch a college football game is one of the best experiences anywhere. So it's funny, 60 minutes of football can make a whole world of difference. Just ask the Steelers coming off that big win against the Jets. Right?
Oh, what a game, right? And in the first half, everybody was down on Wilson a little bit, and everybody's saying, did they make the right move? Did they make the right move? And then by the end of the game, everybody was saying, Wilson. They act like everybody had it called, right?
Well, listen, I haven't seen a touch on a football like that since you were playing in the MAC.
Right? I don't know about that.
But you know what? Being a veterans sometimes does pay off, and I think we saw that with Russell Wilson.
Absolutely. And anybody who misses that much football, it's going to take a little bit of time.
He hadn't played since Christmas Eve 2023 in a regular season game.
Absolutely. Yeah. So it's going to take some time, but I mean, Mike Tomlin had the right idea. Go with Wilson. He's the veteran. He's the guy they brought in to be the starter. And, you know, he basically said, if we have to and we got to go back, once we make the move to go back to Fields, we won't. It's going to be Fields all the way.
Power Bowser Friday Night Lights. We've got that Bowser Hyundai dealership here, just a few miles in Chippewa. Love Gary Bowser and what they do at all those incredible locations, and what we do on Friday nights. And you, the fans, have chosen the game this week. Bethel Park will be taking on Peters Township. Two incredible programs.
Absolutely. Couldn't have two better programs. Bethel Park has a quarterback that just, he can run it, he can throw it. Peters Township, we have a Peters Township guy on the team right now, Roman Costanza, engineering kid, and he's, you know, he is one of our best offensive linemen, and they are a very talented team.
I have to ask you about the other big game. Eli Holstein, of course, University of Pitt Panthers, Coach Narduzzi, undefeated, taking on Syracuse at Accushore Stadium, primetime Thursday night under the lights, 93.7 The Fan, with all the action. And what a difference a year can make for a head coach. And that's why you just never know. When a lot of people would have thought maybe 500 to this point, they're undefeated, and they're one of the best teams in the country right now.
Yeah, and if you look at their prediction, basketball and football-wise, whoever Pitt gets ranked, they usually outperform whatever that prediction is. Coach Narduzzi, I mean, you talk to a guy that just steadies the ship and finds a way to get it done year in and year out. That's him. You know, last year they were down a little lower than what originally thought, but you got guys like Fitzsimmons from, you know, Central Valley coming up, and he's making impact plays. You got a lot of local talent on that team, and they're believing, and that's a huge thing with young kids. And I'm very excited for where they're going. I'm a huge Pitt guy.
Me too. And let's just hope they can get another one again. We'll have everything for you beginning on Thursday night, 93.7 The Fan. Back to Geneva, and then we'll say goodbye. Things that you can still actually work on other than basic fundamentals this time of year. Do you add some wrinkles? Do you mix things up? Or is the recipe that got you here pretty much what you're going to use the rest of the way and just hope that you can execute?
I think you always have, as coaches, you always have what you consider your base offense or defensive plays that you're always going to go to, especially if things aren't going well. But what you kind of do is you find a way to run your base, but put in a few wrinkles so you make it look like something different, but you're just running your stuff. And that's the way to go about it.
Coach, thanks.
Absolutely.
All right, he's going to go around there. I'm a one-man band, so he'll push the button when I'm done, but I do want to remind you, everything in the way of sports. Don't forget Coons Quality Food Sports Reports. We've got that great location here in Hopewell for all of your tailgate needs. We've got you covered. And, of course, along with those Coons Quality Food Sports Reports Saturday and Sunday morning on KDKA, the best hometown sports talk show anywhere, the Coons Market Black and Gold Sunday Show, each and every week after local news at 11. And remember, there's always more sports at 93.7thefan.com.